Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. The paper I've chosen today is 2024 June 1 and we're going to look into task 3 database. You are now going to prepare a report. Dates are to be imported in a format of day, month and year using database software. So we're going to use Access. Open a blank database. And you will have to type in your file name, which is probably your center number followed by your candidate number, and make sure you save it inside the correct folder, that is your work area. Okay, so remember to save it in your work area and click on create. So here you're supposed to import the file J2421 child as a new table. So to import, you go to External Data tab, Text File, browse for the file mentioned there, which is J2421 child. Open, OK. So it gets attached, click OK, leave it to be delimited because we are using a CSV file to import. Next, set the first row to be the field names. First row contains field name. Next, you're supposed to set the data type for your table here. So to set the data type, you will click on the advanced button here and check the data type. So the first one here, last name, first name, child ID, and gender are text data type. So all these here are short text, so it's correct. Leave it to be as such, no changes. Next, date of birth is date with time, and it has to be day, month, year. So this we will look into it later. Okay, so set it to be date and time. Yes, it is correct. Registered date is date and time again. So it's correct here again, no changes. Next, food allergy is supposed to be Boolean or logical. Boolean or logical is supposed to be yes, no. That is, you choose between options. So here it's long integer. Change it to be yes, no. And then contact name, relationship, and customer number are contact number is supposed to be text. So change contact number. Okay, this can be changed to short text, because if it is going to be a number, it can accept, text can accept numbers as well. Click OK. And then move on to the next page. Now here the primary key, they say set child ID as the primary key. So choose my own primary key and set it to be child ID. Next, finish, and you close this window, open the child table here, double click on the table. Now we have not set the display yet. Okay, so you go to Home tab, View, Design View. All right, now here let's set the format, date, month and year. So date of birth, the format, click on the date and time data type, format at the bottom. You will have to choose the correct format, which shows the date, month and year. Okay, now it's better to check the records they ask you to enter here, if at all they ask you to enter. So now if you see here, they are asking you to enter later on you will be adding this record. So they're asking you to enter the record in this format, date, month and year. So we will set the data type in that format. So we choose it to be date, month, year, short date. So that is relevant to the record mentioned there. Again, registered date, set it to be short date again. This is done. Food allergy, Boolean or logical, must display as yes, no. click on yes, no, and set the format also to be yes, no. Now, if you notice here, let me go back and show you something. Data sheet view. You see, even after setting it to yes, no, it is still showing the check boxes. So in order to get the text, you go back to design view, click on the data type yes, no, and under the lookup tab here, it's checkbox here. Change it to text box. Okay, change it to text box. And then you're supposed to take a screenshot of this to show the evidence. So take a screenshot of this window, which shows the table name, format, primary key, field name, data type, and then save your file. Now, if you check your data sheet view, you see the text displays here instead of check boxes. All right, so let's paste this in our evidence. Okay, this is going to be step 11. So paste it under step 11. And then let's go back here. So we are done with the first table. Next, import the file J2421 bookings as a new table in your database. Again, external data, text file, browse for J2421 bookings. Open. Okay. Next, set the first row to be the field names. Next, advanced. Check the data type here. Session ID, child ID, day are text. Okay. Start time, date and time, end time, date and time. Yes, it's correct. Session is supposed to be text. So no changes in these. Click OK, move on to the next page. Now here for the primary key, they say use these field names and data types and create a primary key field called ID. So they're asking you to create a primary key. So you just leave it to be let access add primary key. If you leave it, if you choose no primary key, that is not correct. So you leave it to be let access add primary key. So if you notice here, you will get a field called ID. All right, so leave it to be let access add primary key. Move on to the next page and click on finish here and close this window. You have the bookings table here. Open the bookings table, add it. Now we'll have to set the format for the fields. So the same as the previous table. Open the design view of the table, and here the start time format is supposed to be hours and minutes. So click on the date and time data type, and from the format you choose the short time, which is relevant to the example. Okay, so short time, and the same thing goes to the end time as well, hours and minutes. So click on the date and time data type and then choose the correct format. Now here again you're supposed to place the evidence. So take a screenshot of this and save your file, view data sheet view, and paste this again in your evidence document. Paste. Make sure there is no widows or orphans here as well. Okay, save your file. Okay, let's go back to our database. All right, now next, create one-to-many relationship. Now here we know there are two tables, more than one table. It is a relational database. So you need to link the tables. So go to Database Tools tab, Relationship, add the tables, Child and Bookings. Add both the tables. So the link is between the child ID fields in the child and bookings table. So you have child ID on both the tables. So you'll have to link those fields. Click on child ID in the child table, hold the control key, drag it to child ID in the bookings table and leave the mouse. Now here, click on Enforce Referential Integrity and click Create. Okay, if you're not able to get this relationship link, that's because your table is open. Okay, so before you create that relationship, make sure the tables are closed, and you will have to provide a screenshot of this. Okay, so take a screenshot, save your file, close, and paste this in your evidence under evidence 14. Okay, now next, going back to database. So this is done. Using fields from child and bookings table, produce a tabular report. So open the child table. So before we start with the report, we are supposed to create a query first. So create a query wizard, simple query. I choose it to be all fields on both the tables, okay? It's better to choose all the fields in a query. So we choose all the fields from both the tables. Make sure it has to be from both child and bookings table. Next, leave it to be detailed because we want every field of every record. Next, modify the query design and click finish. Now here is where you set the criteria. Okay, now the criteria, they say select the records where day is Monday. So under the field day, there you have it. Type the criteria Monday. Session is morning or sunrise club. So under session here, find for the date, find for the field session. All right. Here it's morning or sunrise club. Morning or sunrise club. C capital. Okay, sunrise club. Click on any empty cell and then save your file. If your cursor is still here, when you save, you might lose your criteria. Criteria might go missing. So click on any empty cell and then save your file. So that's it about the criterias. So let's check if you're getting the correct answer. So it's here. The number of records will be shown at the bottom. So 43 records. All right, now here, there is one more step to be done in the query. It contains a new field. So go back to your design view and in a new column at the end, type in a new field. Okay, on the first cell of the new column. The name of the field is total time. Total underscore time colon. The formula is given here. End time minus the start time. The answer what you get, you will times 24. So open square brackets, end underscore time minus start underscore time. This has to be in a bracket, okay? And then go to the end. Times 24. Okay, so I'll show you here how it works. It's the field name. Field name here is total underscore time colon, open a bracket and then a square bracket with the formula end underscore time, close a square bracket, minus, open a square bracket, start underscore time, close the square bracket, and then the parenthesis, that is a normal bracket, times 24. So this is how your format of your new field should look like. Okay, I hope that was clear. And then remember, the field names must be within square brackets. The field name must be within square brackets. Okay, total underscore time colon open bracket square bracket end underscore time close square bracket minus open square bracket start underscore time close the bracket and then bracket again times 24. All right, so this is how your formula will look like. And then this has to be formatted as a numeric value. This has to be displayed as numeric value with 1 decimal place. So property sheet format, we will set it to be fixed. Okay, remember, when you're setting a number to be to any decimal place, it's supposed to be fixed. Okay, it has to be fixed. Okay, decimal place doesn't show now. Save, click run and go back to your design view. It shows you the decimal place now. Click on property sheet, decimal place, set it to be 1 decimal place. Okay, now save your file, click run to check your answer. Now there we have the new column, total time with the answers in it. Okay, now we are done with the query. Now we'll start working on the report. So double click on your query. If not, your query will be from the table, which is wrong. Okay, so make sure once your query is ready, double click on query, create report wizard. Now here you're supposed to choose your fields. Child ID. So we have two child ID. Let me choose this. Child ID. First name, last name. Date of birth, day. Session, start time. Session, start time. End time. End time and total time. And food allergy. So next, sort into ascending, descending. Sort the data into descending order of session. So the first one is descending order of session and then ascending order of date of birth. Ascending order of date of birth doesn't appear here. So in such cases, what you do is go back and see the table which has date of birth. Bookings has date of birth and session. So move on to the next page, descending order of session and ascending order of date of birth. Okay, next, orientation, change it to be landscape. Next, and change the title. The title of your report is supposed to be Monday morning groups. So Monday morning groups. Modify the report's design because we'll have to add in the candidate details and fits on a single page width. By default, it's going to be set to fit on a single page width. Next, modify the report's design and finish. There you have the data. Okay, now your candidate details must be in the footer of the report. So get a label, draw a label here and type in your name, center number, and your candidate number. Save your file, view report view. There you have your report, but the text is not fully visible. The records are not fully visible. So in such cases, you will have to arrange it under layout view. So go to layout view and then let's do the arrangements here. Starting from child ID. So session is somewhere at the end. So hold the control key, reduce the column size, okay, and use the arrows to move the data so it's more easier. Child ID is supposed to be in the beginning. So move child ID. Let's edit the data here. It's just child ID. We don't need the table name. Adjust the column size so that it doesn't occupy too much space. The next one is first name and then last name. So date of birth we will move away and then move first name, and then followed by last name. Okay, next is date of birth. Date of birth, you extend the column space so that the text is fully visible. Date of birth. Okay, day followed by session. Reduce the column size here, followed by session, day followed by session, and then start time, end time. Start time. Make sure the text is visible. And then is end time. Start time and then end time. And then total time, finally food allergy. So total time, you extend the space so that the text is visible fully. Finally, food allergy. Extend the column size again so that the text is visible fully. Okay, so that's how your final report will look like. And then I'll show you how to print. Save your file, go to Home tab, check your print preview first. Okay, so that's how your printout is going to look like. This is your first page with your candidate details, followed by your second page again with your candidate details. Okay, so the first report has 2 pages here. So then you will click on print, choose the printer and click OK. So that's it with the first report. Save your file. Now next, moving on to the next question. You are now going to create a data entry form. This form will contain radio buttons for the user to select one option. Data from the selected option must be stored in a new field that you will create in the child table. Okay, insert a new field in the child table. So open the child table. You are asked to insert a new field and the name of the field is ailment ID, which will be used to store data from radio buttons to set the most appropriate data type. You must show the most appropriate data type. Okay, I set it to be text because I feel if IDs usually might have text and numbers together. If it is numbers doesn't accept text. So it's better to set it to be a text data type so that it can accept numbers and text. So click on this, click to add and choose the data type, choose the required data type. I set it to be short text. Okay, and then yeah, when you click on it, it will bring you here and then name it to be ailment underscore ID. Ailment underscore ID. Okay, and then you're supposed to provide evidence, a screenshot showing the field names and data types used in the child table. So save your file, go to the design view, and then take a screenshot of this. along with the ailment ID. Okay, data sheet view, paste this in your evidence under step 15. Okay, next. Next, okay, create. Okay, we are done with this. Let's save and close the table. So we are done. Let's close this table. Create a columnar data entry form using the selected fields from the child table. So from the child table, open the child table, create. They're asking us to create a form. So it's form wizard and choose the fields mentioned here. It should include only the fields mentioned here. Last name, first name, last name, first name, child ID, gender, date of birth, registered date, and food allergy. So registered date and food allergy. So these are the fields you're supposed to add in the form. Next, make sure it is a columnar data entry form. Leave it to be columnar. Next, let's name, there is no specific name mentioned here, so I name it to be child form and click on modify the form's design, finish. Okay, this is how your design view will look like. All right, now here you're supposed to show the evidence screenshot showing your form with a record from the database displayed. So for that, you go to view form view. It shows you the first record of your database. Take a screenshot of this. Okay, so take a screenshot and then paste this in your evidence under step 16. This is supposed to be step 15. Step 11, where did I miss? Step 11. All right, okay. Step 11 and 12. Okay, this is supposed to be step 11 as well. And then this is supposed to be step 12. Let me just fix this, okay. And then this is supposed to be step 14. Okay, this is 6:15. Step 15 is the evidence of form. Okay, so we are done with that. Coming back here to the form. All right, next. In the form created in step 15, okay, let's go back to the form here. In this form, they are asking us to create a 5 grouped radio buttons. So go back to your design view, add some space on the detail area so that we have space to add the option groups. Radio buttons are where you choose between options, okay? So that the user must be able to select one of the following options. All right, so from the controls, you will choose option group. There, you have this XYZ. Click on it, pick that, draw an option group here at the bottom. It brings you here, okay, option group wizard. So now you will have to name the labels that are supposed to be in the group. So these are the labels. These are the options basically. So name them one by one below the other. and none. So these are the groups. Now here you might have to provide certain evidences. Okay. Click next. Okay, this you can choose it if there is nothing mentioned in specific. I just leave it to be no, I don't want a default choice, so it will be empty. Okay, if you want to set it to be asthma or any other records here, you can choose. If not, it will show you an empty list in the beginning. Next, so leave the values to be 1 to 5. Next, where do you want to save the selected options? So we will have to store this value. They have mentioned here, the option selected must be stored and displayed in the ailment ID field of the child table. So from the list, you choose ailment ID. Next, leave it to be option group because we want it to be radio buttons. Okay, see, these are radio buttons. Leave it to be option group, option buttons. Next, what caption do you want for the option group? So the caption here, they have mentioned label this option group as ailment. So name it as ailment and finish. There you have the format. Now here, this label has to be moved towards the left so that it doesn't overlap here. Okay, that's how it looks like. And then you're supposed to provide a screenshot, I guess. The radio buttons grouped as one group with label ailment. So we'll have to take a screenshot of this. So let's take a screenshot of this and provide in the evidence. This is going to be step 16. Under step 16, paste the first screenshot, come back to database, and then you're supposed to make sure the radio buttons are grouped as one options with the label ailment. Make sure it is within the same label ailment. The option selected is stored in ailment ID field in the child table. That you will have to make sure it is stored in the correct ailment ID. And then all labels in the form are aligned to the left consistently and do not overlap other data in the form. Make sure it is one below the other in proper order. And it has to be the label must be below the other labels on the left hand side. That's why we moved here to the left. Okay, and then you're supposed to provide your method of linking this group to the ailment ID. Okay, we must have took frame 15. This was just now frame 15. So I provide this as the screenshot. Okay, I take a screenshot. Basically, it is a screenshot here. You create a ailment, right? You label these. Okay, I missed that. And none. Next. It's this. Okay, storing it in ailment ID. It is a screenshot of this you're supposed to show. Okay, so you must provide a screenshot of this as well. You must have done it earlier when you're creating the group itself. So on the same step 16, you will provide the screenshot. I'm going to cancel this because I've created one already. Okay, so let's save. Okay, we are done with the group, option group. Save your file, view, form view. If you see here, there you have the new ailment tab. Okay, now using the form created, form modified in step 16, add the following data as a new record in the child table. So you're supposed to add a new record. So click on the third arrow here at the bottom. This will give you a new blank record. Click on it once and then add in the record. Last name, Lambert Jakara. Then child ID 3YR27. 3YR27. Gender, female. Female. Date of birth 4/12/2022. 4/12/2022. And then registered date 8/10/2020. 18/10/2023. 18/10/2023. Food allergy is yes. And then ailment, eczema. Choose the correct option. And you're supposed to save your file so that it gets added to the child table. And you're supposed to provide a screenshot of the form with the new record displayed in full. So take a screenshot of this as well after you've added. Paste it in your evidence. This is going to be step 17. Okay, save your file, come back to database. Okay, open the child table, save your file here, open the child table, and then they're asking you to use an automated selection method to locate the new record you entered in step 17 with child ID 3YR27. So child ID, you click on the arrow here, text filters, you click equal, you choose equal and type in the name of the ID. It's 3YR27. 3YR27. Provide a screenshot of this and then click OK. Paste this in your evidence under step 18. And then go back here, provide a screenshot again after you filtered the whole record. And then go back here. This is supposed to be in the same, on the same evidence. Save, paste your evidence, save your file, come back here. Now to get back the records, you click on child ID, clear filter from child ID, so it'll give back all the records. So automated selection, you must paste, and then the new record, whatever you've chosen it to be, the whole 11 fields must be shown. So these are the two fields. Okay. And then, that's the end of the task. I hope that was clear. See you guys in another video. Thank you. Bye-bye.